Hi, and thanks for joining me today. So, I just finished my Valentine's Day cards this year. I had intended to make cards last year, but um, time just got away from me, and I never did end up doing it. So this year I got a nice head start. Plus, some of the items that I had prepped last year, I decided I was gonna finally turn those into cards. So. This is going to be a showcase. I'm not going to actually do any assembly because all of my cards are complete, but I will, if I can remember what all I used, I'll try to show. So this is the first one, and I did use this paper pad from first edition, and it came in one of the, I think, Black Friday or Crafter's Companion birthday bundles, and I only pulled out one sheet of each unique design to start using, and I haven't even used up all of that. So, a really great paper pad. And for the banner here, what I've been using quite a lot, so definitely getting my money's worth. There are these two um, banner die sets that I've been using. So this one was one of the Stamp Club sets. I don't know if it's still available, but I've gotten so much use out of this specific set. And then this one is the Mason Jar Labels die set. And I think this came in one of the Wednesday Deal mystery bags. And so I've been making a lot of good use of this one as well. So you'll see banners throughout all of my cards. That's where they came from. And I just have some nesting heart dies out of my stash. And for this sentiment here, I used the Sunny Studios stamp set. And I didn't actually use any of the character stamps. I used this mainly for the sentiments and some of the hearts and other little accessories. So I still have to go back and actually use the main part of this stamp set, which I fully intend on doing someday, but I actually did not do that this year. I bought this set last year intending to use it, but never got around to it. And so I've used it a little bit this year, but not a ton. So that's my first card. And I am using card blanks that are left over from my Crafter's Companion boxes. So here's another. This is a 4x6 card. Just a little bit of the paper and from the paper pad and some stamping and white embossing using that Sunny Studios stamp set. So there's that one. Here's another pretty simple one. Just want to showcase the pattern paper. And for the first time, I'm using 3 Kalal glue, which I think is kind of fun. So it dries, it's a really thick gel if you've never used it before, and it dries clear and hard. So this has had, I think, at least 48 hours to dry now. And so I have it just giving a little bit of dimension in the center there, but the ends of the flag here are actually flat and glued down, so you get this nice kind of bowed effect. Then this one is, I just have this die that I think I bought off of wish.com last year. And so I had already played around with it a little bit. The background here was my attempt at watercoloring the Northern Lights, and it didn't turn out quite perfect. So I thought, oh, I'll just die cut into it, and it'll just be an abstract little background. So that's what I did here with that. And then this happy stamp came from Honeybee, so this is a really fantastic stamp set. It's got lots of sentiments, and then it's got different variations on the word happy. So you have happy, happily, happiness, happier, happiest. So you can kind of build up your sentiment however you like. Then this card, again, pretty simple. I was playing around with the idea of using your nested dies to do a partial die cut and create your own custom edge. Now, of course, you can buy dies that are specifically designed that only have, the left or the right edge as being cut and the opposite side being still attached. So I think Crafter's Companion does a line of edgeables. I think that's what they call it. Tonic Studios has some. Spellbinders has some. So you can find a lot of these, but I was playing around with just using stuff that you may already have. And I thought it turned out okay. It's not the most perfect because this particular heart nested die set I have is stitched, and so you don't get quite a perfect stitching all the way around, but pretty cute. Then this is another one where using a die that I have, I think I purchased from Wish also. So it's just a cover plate, but it's an unusual size, and that's one of the things where when you're buying stuff from Wish or Amazon that doesn't have a name brand to it, sometimes size and scale can be a little bit not what you expect. So this isn't quite A2. So I think this is an A2 card here. So you can see if I line up the two corners, it's not quite there. But it's a really lovely cover die where it just cuts these radiating hearts. So this was one of the pieces that I had prepared last year for Valentine's Day cards, just never got around to finishing it. And playing around with the die, I like to first cut it into just some basic cardstock, like white, black, and I think in this case I also did red. So I just paper piece inlaid some of the hearts back in, and then you'll see here's another one, this time using the white panel, and I just layered white on white and used some of the red hearts on top of this tag, which I think came from one of those two Tonic Studios sets that I showed in the beginning. And these cards are going to go to, I think, my nephews. So this is the third one, which is kind of similar. Just have a simple belly band. Again, I did some white on white here with the hearts. And then you open this up and you get the radiating heart in the red panel. I might stamp something there, or I might just write my message to my nephew with a white gel pen right in the center. And this love, that came from Bright Rosa. And I don't know this for 100% sure, but I started seeing the Bright Rosa product listings start to disappear off of craftstash.com, and so I wonder if they're just not continuing this brand anymore. I don't know if that for a fact, but I am glad that I did notice that because I started buying up a few of these sets while I still could. So I have, I think, 3 of these word combinations, which I really love because you get the nice big blocky letters, but then you also get the more scripty letters too, and you can sort of mix and match them within one set or between sets, because I think they're all the same font even between the different sets that she offers, just different words. So so really great, basic die set that I'm gonna get tons of use from. I already have for this set of cards. Then next I have this one, which I used a combination of things here. So here I'm using the Sizzix set that has this cute paper airplane, and what I did was, so this actually just cuts into your card and it leaves the airplane attached to your card, but I wanted it to be in a solid color, so I just found a circle nesting die from my stash that I could die cut out the outer ring to give me like a standalone piece that I could add as a element to the top of my card. And then what I did was using the accompanying stamp that comes in this set, I just stamped with some Versamark. And when you stamp Versamark onto colored cardstock, it just does that. It leaves like a watermark, and it slightly darkens your paper a little bit. So it gives it a really nice, subtle, but effective look. And again, I used the 3D Kalau glue just under these peaks here to give that some lift. And then I glued just regular tacky glue on the sides and all around so that everything else stayed flat, but this will still be raised. And then for this is super cute. It also has these little heart dies. So there's one set there and there's another set of little hearts here. And what's really cute about these is that this set in particular here, it actually die cuts out an outline, and then the little heart in the center drops out of it. So I die cut that from a couple different colors, and then I inlaid some of those pieces back into each other. And then this sentiment actually came from another Sizzix die stamp and die set. So that one, let me see if I can pull it out here. That one is this right here. I have it kind of cut apart because of how I store it, but that's the product number if you're interested. And it does come with nesting ovals and different stamp sentiments that you can stamp in the center of the oval. But in this case, I actually used one of the tonic banners because I didn't want a perfect oval since I had a round element here already, but I still wanted something curvy. So that's why I went with a different little badge shape here. And this die set also pretty cute. It comes with these corner embellishments that cut into your card. So it's a small detail, but I like, adding these small little details because I definitely have grown to really appreciate cards and just looking at all the little nuanced details that come in them. So now I've really tried to kind of add all of those little details in my own card making. So there's that card. Then this is another really simple card. It's just a shaker card. So I put a lot of the smaller little hearts that dropped out of this cover panel. So those are in here. And then I just mixed in some glitter, which I haven't done before in a shaker, or at least I don't do it very often. But this is a little bit of a kind of an iridescent glitter. And so it looks okay, but they don't make a ton of noise. And I like a noisy shaker, so I think next time I probably will stick to some sequins or some seed beads that will make a lot of noise and just give you that sort of satisfying shaker sound. Then moving into some square cards. So I've got this one here, which is just using that same bright rosa sentiment die set. I had a lot of leftover pieces, and so when you die cut it, you do get this sort of the love word, which is cut into your paper. But then if you save the little pieces that drop out, so these red elements are what dropped out of this die cut here, and then I just put it over some white cardstock. So this red part is actually raised and the white part is actually kind of lower. And so you kind of get a 2-for-1 every time you die cut this. And so when I did my die cutting, I kind of die cut again just out of a few different colors, and then I save the bits and create these elements. And this card specifically came about just as a way to use up all my leftover cuts. So again, these are some hearts that came out of this die, which produces a lot of hearts. So that's one fantastic thing about this cover die, is that you get a lot of usable hearts out of it. So I just added some there, and I think I'm gonna put a white heart in the center of this O, and that's gonna complete this card. And here's another. This one is just a really simple one. Just showcasing some of the pattern paper, and all I've done is just to make sure that all of the inner workings are hidden. This piece of acetate, I do have another heart and these little candied heart sentiments layered up so that you kind of get different sentiments. So this is Hugs and Kisses XOXO. Then you open it and it says "You rock." And then this one says "Love." And here's where I'll write my message. But when you have this closed, all of those are going to be hidden. So this is an opportunity to write something. Here's another opportunity to write something. Or maybe I'll stamp another sentiment here. I'm not sure. But this card actually came about because I was intending to do my next card, and then for whatever reason, I thought I needed to put acetate on it, and ultimately, I didn't need to do that, so I had to come up with another card design. So here is this card, which has a little bit of something stuck to it. I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit. But again, I'm using all these candied hearts, and this background is actually an embossing folder that I have. It's from Sizzix, and it is fantastic. It's one of, I think I have 3 or 4 of them, but they are the large sort of A4 size embossing folder where you can actually emboss an entire sheet of paper. And I do that a lot, and then I will cut it down and just kind of use it as needed. But it's super convenient to just have a full sheet of embossed paper. It's actually very similar to buying like your tonic, handcrafted cotton paper. It's not quite as it doesn't quite have that same weight to it, because it just really depends on the cardstock that you're passing through the embossing folder. But it's really nice just to be able to work in full sheets. So with this one, when you open it, you kind of get a little bit of spinning action. So each of these hearts is actually suspended on some invisible thread. So when you have it open, they kind of like twist and turn, and they are the conversation hearts. And so I have one on each side. There's a different message on the front and the back. So this one's super cute. I don't know exactly where I'm going to write my message, because this is textured, and plus it's completely see-through, so might have to just put the message or sign it on the back. But love these little conversation heart dies, and I just picked this up from Amazon. It's kind of a no-name brand on Amazon, which can be hit or miss, but in this case was a hit in my book, because you get a lot of different little hearts, each with a different saying on them, and they're super, super cute. In fact, what I might do for the rest of these cards is have a little conversation heart on the inside, just so that the inside has a little something special too. So I might go back and do that before sending these cards out. Then these next 3 are using the Crafter's Companion cut and emboss folder. This I bought during their Black Friday sale, and it came in a bundle. I think there were, I want to say 6 of them. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think there were either 4 or 6. And they're really fantastic, because you just send this through, and the little writing here is just a reminder to me the sandwich to use because it did take a little bit of trial and error since I don't have an actual Gemini machine. I have a Cuttlebug. So if you're interested and you have a Cuttlebug, what I used was my magnetic sheet, heavyweight chipboard, and then the B plate, the B cutting plate, and your embossing folder. So that's the sandwich combination that I used. But what's really nice about these cut and emboss folders is that it cuts out this beautiful frame and embosses it at the same time. Plus, because it's a frame, it actually cuts out this beautiful aperture in the center, which is then another component or another piece that you can use on a different card or use differently on the same card. So super really nice on that one. Love that. And for the word with here, I used the Tonic Studios Love Life Sentiment die set, and I really wanted to do the whole with love or sending love and kisses, but I kind of ran out of time, and so didn't get to use this to its fullest, but I did use components of it, which, by the way, one of the cool things is that the shadow die that cuts out the backing plate for the word sending, that doubles as the backing plate for the word with also, which I didn't realize when I bought it. And when I was working with these, I wanted to use both sentiments, and I was like, oh, is there a backing plate for it? And I realized it works for both. So how fantastic is that? What a clever design. I really love Tonic Studios. So here you can see two very different styles of using the embossing cut and emboss folder, and the papers that I've used are, here's an iridescent mirror from Tonic, and this is I think Crafter's Companion Centura Pearl, and this is Craft Perfect, and this is again another Tonic Craft Perfect, one of their mirror cards, and I do actually have a third one kind of in the same line. So again, I love their iridescent mirror card. It's just fantastic. So then I took the centers of each of these and swapped them. So the iridescent mirrors in the Centura Pearl, the Centura Pearl is in the center here, and then I just played around with different configurations. So here I raised the frame on some black foam. So I chose black so that when you look at it from the side, it doesn't stand out. And then here I did the reverse. So I actually raised the heart, and the frame is flat with the card. And then these two, I did use some glitter. This is actually glitter foam. So these are glitter foam sheets that I bought. I think it was just from Hobby Lobby. Pretty inexpensive. They don't really shed. But it came in a variety of different colors, and they're not all super usable colors, but they do look pretty nice, and so at least in this application, so that's where I've used those. And yeah, same love sentiment with some of the another Craft Perfect. This is one of their silver, I think they're pinstripe cardstock. So those three cards from basically the same die sets, but very different looks. Then I have two more cards. So this one uses that same embossing folder. It's not quite, your cable knit. It's actually, I think it's vines or a plant, but it's kind of close to cable knit, so that's why I've used it. And here the hearts, I used this Bright Rosa die set. This is the heart band, and I don't think these bright rosa dyes are available for sale anymore, but if you happen to already have it, here's a way you could use it. What I really love about the bright rosa line is that she incorporates a lot of geometric shapes and designs into her dyes, and so it's not just all flowers and florals, but you get some nice geometrics as well, even with something as kind of soft and feminine as hearts. But our men in our lives and our boys and guys in our lives need some love too, so it's nice to be able to use this to create cards for, like I mentioned, my nephews, and the last one I'll show is the one that I'm giving to my husband. But this one, what's nice about it is you can use the belly band to create a pop-up as well. So this red big heart in the back, that's using the band as a pop-up mechanism. So you can sort of see how it's attached. The two bands are attached behind there. And then you have the heart in front. But I really wanted to make this bursting with love. And so I just created more structures, pop-out structures, and then just started adding hearts galore. So I've got one pop-up structure here, and then I've got another pop-up structure here that I just cut from the same leftover embossed paper so that it kind of blends in with the background. But that's attached to this edge of the heart. So you can, once you have one structure that's popped up, you can just add more pop-up structures on top of that. And so then you get this really full card. And the idea is I already have die cut one of these extra hearts, which is just plain white card, and I'm gonna put it here, and we'll write our message on here and then glue it on, so it'll be easier to kind of write on this while it's not attached to the card, and then we'll glue it on afterwards. So that, and then I have a little leftover heart here, so I might just do a little extra heart on the side here with it. So that's this one. And then I was getting so excited about how this was turning out, and when I get excited about a card that's really I guess sort of impressive, at least to me. I don't know if you're impressed by it, but I was impressed by it. And when that happens, I like to tell my husband right away. And then I realized after the fact that this would have been a really spectacular one to give him, but I had already shown it to him. So I think this one will go to his mom, my mother-in-law. But that did mean I had to create another card for my husband. So that's this last one that I'm showing. So this is it. And I've just used a lot of different kind of papers here. So I've got, this is from that same Bright Rosa heart band die set, by the way. So I've got some of Craft Perfect, the handmade cotton paper. And a lot of these papers are just leftovers from the monthly craft kit that I have. And so I have just brought out everything that's in the red line and started using it. So there's that. It's on just plain black and white on top. In the center is the iridescent mirror card from Craft Perfect. And then the little one is craft foil card, which I got as a little scrap pack from, I think, Recollections from Michael's, and that turned out perfect. So you get 3 different reds, and they're not I think they're more kind of they're darker, not as sort of bright and vibrant, but because there's the iridescent mirror and the foil, it still has that kind of shimmer and reflective. Even the handmade cotton paper one is. But this is one of the nested um, easel cards, which I've seen a lot of. I've never made one myself. And there are, of course, die sets that you can buy to create this look. But if you have a set of nested dies, any nested shape dies, you can do this yourself. So you don't necessarily have to have a die set that's specifically designed to create these nested easels. And then in the center here, I have it's this die set from Crafter's Companion. It's one of their layered die cut sentiment sets, and it just says, "You make my heart happy," which I think was the perfect sentiment for my husband. And then the let's see which these little hearts that I'm using as stoppers, they came from this die set. And one of the things to keep in mind when you're putting something like this together is all you have to do to create the shaped card is to fold your card base and then die cut with the top edge above that fold. That way it doesn't cut that fold, it leaves the fold intact, and that becomes your card base and for your shaped card. And then you can just score another line somewhere in the middle, and that's going to be how the easel card gets created. And then the other thing I did, which isn't 100% necessary, but I like to do it, is I try to get everything kind of level when I'm adhering anything across multiple levels. So because this smaller card is glued on top of this one, when I went to do happy, I just layered up the die cut, several die cuts under the word happy, but just right up until the P, so that it kind of brings it flush as it goes across these two cards. Then the other thing that I did, just as like a nice finishing touch, is on the back side, I sort of did the same thing where just layered up a couple different die cuts to make all of this flush. And as well, if you can see here, because our card base has the fold and it's not the full heart, when you add the back panel, it makes the back a full heart as well, so you don't see the partial die cut and you don't see that fold. I don't think he's going to turn this over to look at it, but he may, because he does have pretty good eye for attention to detail. But it just makes your card just look a little bit more professional. So if you're making cards like these to sell perhaps, then taking the extra time to put in these full panels on the back means that you get the nice professional cut edge on the back side as well. So you can see here, this particular heart has sort of dotted outline around the border. So you get that nice professional cut edge on the back side. Everything's flush and level. So when, especially for an easel card that's meant to kind of be propped up and displayed standing, it's all gonna sit flush. Of course, the difference between one or two layers of cardstock isn't gonna be so much that it's not gonna lay flat, but you still, at least I still like to have that attention to detail so that everything does lay flat and perfect. So that's the Valentine's Day card that my husband will get. And I don't know where I'll sign my name, but he'll know it's from me. So, and the other thing is, I did not have to worry about having to put this in the mail. So that's why I also didn't mind, layering up so many different layers of cardstock. But in the end, it's not too terribly thick. It may it may require a little bit of extra postage, but I think it's worth it when you spend so much time creating a handmade card that's, you know, got all these layers and things to it. It's not that much extra postage. It's only, I think, 15 cents to send anything that's either over an ounce or an odd shape that can't be like automatically sorted. So not a huge extra cost. The other thing is that because I don't have to worry about shipping it, I also didn't really worry about standard envelope sizes. I'll just create whatever envelope I need to put this in for him. But that's the other thing, that if you're making this to send, you may want to figure out how to arrange your 3 easel cards so that it will fit into your envelope when you have it all collapsed. And the other consideration that so I didn't have to take that into consideration, but as I mentioned, if you are sending it, you'll want to keep that in mind. But one of the main things that I was thinking about was how to kind of fan these 3 easel cards out, or how to stack them so that I would have enough room for the die cut sentiment that I wanted to put inside. And I mean, I did have to kind of get a little bit wonky with the word heart here, and a little bit, creative with this piece here, but I managed to make it work. But that would be the other consideration when you're figuring out how you want to stack your easel cards. But really cute. I've never made a stacked easel card before, but definitely I'm glad that I did, because now I know just how easy it is to do. And before today, I just finished this one today. Before today, I was actually considering to buy a die set that was specific for this, but I kind of don't feel like I need to now. I feel like I can just use whatever shape dies in my stash and then just use that. So that's my last card. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that everybody's doing well, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!